Straight ahead this morning, crisis in the classroom. The Minnesota school district hit with a new federal complaint over discrimination concerns. A parental rights organization has filed legal action against a Minnesota school system accusing administrators of racial discrimination. Joining us now to discuss this is Parents Defending Education's Director of Outreach, Erika Sanzi. Good morning, Erika. Great to see you.
Hi, Jan.
So your organization filed this complaint with the Department of Education for race-based discrimination in the Rochester school system's affinity group, as well as for the programs they have for scholarships and mentorships. Tell us more about the complaint and what you're asking the education department to do.
Sure. So what we know based on lots of primary source documents is that in this school district in Minnesota, they blatantly discriminate on the basis of race. And because they receive federal, money and financial assistance, they can't do that. So we argue that they are in violation of Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and also the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. But basically what you have now is you have not just these sort of segregated groups, but the offering of mentoring and scholarship opportunities for teachers and staff based solely on their skin color. And that is against the law, no matter who it includes and who it excludes.
Yeah, and in this particular lawsuit, you were asking them to what?
Stop the practice.
Stop it altogether.
Yeah. So basically, and just to be clear, even though I also get very tripped up by all this legalese, this isn't a lawsuit. It's a complaint filed with the Office of Civil Rights with the Department of Education. And our goal is, again, for them to see that what's happening on the ground in this district is not allowed under federal law. Putting aside the ethical and moral piece to this,
right? And
that they open up these programs to everybody, or they figure out another way to target that's not based on race and that's not in violation of federal law.
A tweet that has gone viral from Black Lives Matter has really captured your thoughts and a lot of people's thoughts online right now. It's pushing for what it considers equity in school as we know. In response to a tweet, this is the tweet right here we want to show you. As a former middle school teacher and current high school teacher, I am very afraid of the current state of education. The kids are so far behind in every subject. Even those kids that were once considered gifted struggle with writing coherent sentences. It is not looking good. In response to this, BLM wrote, "We are in an education crisis and it's barely getting the attention it deserves." What'd you make of this? I know you had a lot of thoughts on this.
I mean, it's so brazen. It's like they basically wanted to burn the whole system down. And now they're like, wow, I can't believe we have this crisis. It's not getting any attention. And it was easy, by the way, for me to make a list off the top of my head of BLM's, of what they wanted to have happen in schools. So they totally supported school closures. They were totally in bed with the unions. I literally wrote it down in pencil. They argued that they wanted ideology and politics in every single course. They argued to close all charter schools, and they opposed all forms of school choice, which is a lifeline for many children. They wanted to defund all school resource officers. So they wanted all law enforcement, no matter how violent the school, out of the buildings, and they wanted to bring in counselors instead. And then they had activities for young children every year during their Black Lives Matter week of action. They wanted young children making posters and learning about how to disrupt the nuclear family and fight against trans antagonistic violence. I would add, they also spent a lot of time teaching students to hate Israel and hate America. So what a surprise that now we find ourselves, trying to climb back from what BLM did to the schools or tried to do to the schools over the past few years. Unbelievable.
A lot of folks are talking about this online right now. Parents Defending Education's Director of Outreach, Erika Sanzi. Always a pleasure to see you. If I don't see you next week, hope you have a great holiday. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you.
You too. Enjoy it with your boys.
Thank you.